All right, let's talk about WordPress. You've probably heard of it, but you might not realize just how massive it is. It's kind of like the invisible architect behind a huge chunk of the internet we use every single day. So today, we're going to grab our digital hard hats and figure out how it all works.
So, let's kick things off with this idea from our source material. It says WordPress is the basic framework to build a smart educational institution. Now that right there, that's the key. The best way to think about this is to imagine you're constructing an actual building. And trust me, this metaphor is going to be super helpful as we go.
Okay, so we're building something. But what part is WordPress? Well, think of it as the whole shebang. It's your blueprint, your foundation, your structural frame, all of it rolled into one neat package.
So what is it, really? At its heart, WordPress is what's called a content management system, or a CMS. That sounds super technical, right? But it's not. All it really means is that it's a tool that lets anyone, and I mean anyone, from a brand new blogger to a giant corporation, build and run a website without having to write a lick of code. It basically opened up the internet for everyone.
And just how big of a deal is it? I mean, what's its actual footprint on the web? Well, let me just throw a number out at you. 43%.
Yeah, you heard that right. 43% of every single website on the internet. It's kind of insane. We're talking nearly half the web. From your neighbor's gardening blog to some of the biggest companies in the world, they're all built on this one single platform. It really is the bedrock of our digital world.
Okay, so if WordPress is this massive digital construction site, how does it actually, work? How do you build with it? Well, it really boils down to three main pieces. And here they are: the core, the theme, and the plugin. Let's stick with our building analogy. The core? That's your foundation and steel beams. The theme? That's the architectural style, the interior design. And plugins? Well, those are all the appliances and cool gadgets you put inside. Let's break them down. All right, first up, the core. This is the absolute guts of the operation. It's the concrete foundation, the steel frame. You can't have a building without it. The core handles all the basic stuff: creating pages, managing who can log in, letting you upload pictures. It's the engine that just works. Okay, now for the fun part, the theme. This is all about the look and feel. It's the paint on the walls, the style of the windows, the furniture you pick. A theme controls your website's entire design: the colors, the fonts, the layout. And the coolest part? You can swap it out. It's like changing your house from a modern loft to a cozy cottage with just one click. And last but not least, we have plugins. So if the core is the structure and the theme is the style, plugins are all the awesome features you install. Think of them as the appliances. You want a kitchen? You install a stove. You want a home theater? You install a sound system. Plugins add special functions that the basic building doesn't come with. And honestly, this is where WordPress becomes a real game changer. The core gives you a solid, empty building, but it's the plugins that let you turn it into literally anything you can dream up.
So what is a plugin? It's exactly what it sounds like: a little piece of software you plug into your website to give it a new superpower. And there are thousands upon thousands of them out there, each one built to do something very specific.
I mean, the possibilities are just endless. You want to build a whole online school with courses and quizzes? Yep, there's a plugin for that, something like LearnDash. Or maybe you want to launch an online shop and sell stuff to the whole world? Bam! A plugin like WooCommerce turns your site into a massive e-commerce store. Okay, so let's see how this all works in the real world. Our source material gives us a perfect case study to look at how the core, the theme, and the plugins all snap together.
So here's the scenario. The Seoul Buddhist Graduate University had this big idea. They wanted to create a totally modern, digital, smart campus. Now, they could have tried to build something from the ground up, which is super hard and expensive. Or they could just use WordPress.
And check out how perfectly this fits our building metaphor. First, they laid the foundation using the WordPress core. That's their solid base structure. Then they brought in the specialized equipment. In this case, a powerful plugin called LearnDash to handle all the online learning stuff. And what did they end up with? A fully functional, smart educational building. Pretty cool, right? And by combining that solid core with just the right plugin, they could build out all these amazing specific features. We're talking dedicated pages for every course, personal dashboards for students to see how they're doing, even entire online academy modules. And the best part? It's all managed in one place, totally seamlessly.
So this all leads to the big question, doesn't it? Why WordPress? How did this one system become the absolute king of the internet, running everything from huge universities to tiny personal blogs?
Well, according to our source material, it really comes down to a powerful combination of three things. It's open source, it has almost infinite extensibility, and it's designed to be super friendly with search engines.
And it's really the mix of these three that's the secret sauce. Open source just means it's free for everyone to use, to change, to build on. Extensibility is just a fancy word for what we talked about with plugins, the ability to make it do anything you want. And SEO-friendly means it's built so that search engines like Google can easily find your website. So you've got freedom, you've got flexibility, and you've got visibility. That's a winning combo.
So at the end of the day, WordPress is just that, a set of building blocks. It gives you the foundation, the design tools, and all the special equipment you could ever need. It's pretty much the most powerful and easy-to-use construction kit the digital world has ever seen. So I guess that leaves just one question. What are you gonna build?